Hello. Hello, hello, hello. No camera this time because I just didn't feel like it, to be honest. I just did not feel like it. um, as per usual, I'm kind of just gonna be talking about whatever comes to mind. And recently, the past few days, I'm not gonna call them revelations because it's stuff that I pretty much already knew. But, it's fair to say that I've had some interactions. We'll just call them interactions. And it really just not necessarily opened my eyes, but it just made me think. It just made me think about some things. It made me think about our collection, and it made me think even just about my life as a whole. I'm currently 27 years old. Um, and when I think about it, it's like I've been collecting cards. I've been around cards my entire life. Like, literally my entire life. I think one of the very first games I played, even putting Super Smash Bros. 64 aside, one of the very first games that I can clearly remember playing is Pokemon Red. Um, and that was on a game. It was on the lime green Game Boy Color, and I think I was like 4, 5 years old or something, just playing Pokemon Red. But that's besides the point. As I was saying, I've been around and collecting Pokemon for a very long time. And I'm still collecting Pokemon right now. And it just made me think that with what I have, not purchased, but just with what I've like planned and what I have like sort of wanted our collection to be, um, it's a lot. It's a lot of cards and it's a lot financially. And just recently, I already know the answer to this, but this is just stuff, internal monologue that I already had with myself. And just recently, I was asking myself the question, like, can I actually do this? Like, can I actually, like, finish this? Um, right now, uh, I'm looking at something. You can't actually see it, but I'm looking at something, and it's basically a spreadsheet of cards that we have, the cards that we don't have, and there's a couple other like indications for some things. Um, but I look at it and it's like it's almost a little bit intimidating. To be fair, the majority of it is green, which is awesome, thank goodness. Because like if the majority of it were red in this current market, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I would feel. But there are several things for me to consider when I look at this. The first one is that the entire thing, whether the collection is finished or not, or like even gets finished at any point in the future, that's not really what it's ever been about for me. For me, it has been about sharing something. It's been about sharing something with someone else. Um, the other person who's involved in this collection. It's been about sharing because initially they weren't super into it, and I have always been super into it. but they like numbers and they like spreadsheets and they like documents. They really like documents. I actually never even had a spreadsheet. I was kind of just going off like, because I just know everything in my head. Like I know what I want, I know what I don't want. So I kind of just had everything in my head. But they really like documents. They like tallies and formulas and, you know, spreadsheets and documents and all this jazz. So we eventually made a spreadsheet. And to go back, you know, it's never really been about whether I do or don't finish it. It's been about sharing what I like with this person and experiences. And that's what it's really been about. And I look at this list and I ask myself, because, you know, right now, like, whenever I take it to places, it's like, dang, dude, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. And it's like, yeah. And I tell people, like, it's probably just about 60% done, and they can't even believe it. It's like, yeah, it's probably about just 60% done. And it's like I could stop here and like, it would still be awesome. Um, my goal before I sort of started sharing this journey with uh the other person was I wanted to make just one of the best raw collections in the world. Not as a freaking, you know, old tycoon guy. This is just straight up from the ground up. Just literally the such hard work to make this shit happen. You know, I'm not a fucking finance bro or fucking oil prince. I'm literally just like, I mean, between myself and anyone else who sees, I don't even have a fucking job, but like, somehow I make it happen, you know? And I wanted to make one of the best collections in the world, within reason. I'm not talking like straight PSA 10s, yada yada yada, but something that, I mean, and even then that is subjective, but something when you see it, it's like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And that to me is what I set out to do. And I'm gonna say I'm getting close, but not there yet. Um, but yeah, I asked myself a couple days ago, do I want to keep going? Do I want to keep doing this? Um, for several reasons. You know, I've been doing it for a while, and right now the other person is a little busy. So it kind of makes me a little sad that I'm doing it without them for a little bit, which does make me a little bit sad. Um, but I know that they're keeping tabs on it, so it's okay. Um, sorry, there's just a lot that I'm thinking about. Um, this collection, over time, it's starting to become a little more symbolic than just the time and effort that's gone into it. You know, when I look at it now, um, of course, I love the cards that are inside, but over time, they're starting to be a little bit more associated with the collection than just the cards. Um, like I said, each card, some cards are literally even straight up just from my childhood, but there are certain cards that really make me think. They really make me think. Um, I guess right now I'm just very reflective because the past few days have been, they haven't, I mean, I hate to use this word because I wouldn't even consider myself a very emotional person, but they've been pretty emotional. And the binder is, it's not the absolute center of, but it's definitely an important piece in regarding some of these interactions. You know, anytime I look at it, I'm just reminded of certain things, and sometimes it makes me feel sad, and sometimes it makes me feel happy. It's very, very, very complicated to say the least. Very, very, very complicated. Um, I'm gonna do another sort of cards I would like to own. I think the most recent one I did, or the very first one I did it a couple months ago, and now like I think a few of those cards we actually do own, which is really cool. So I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now, and this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, in terms of cards, maybe like going into the next year or by the end of this year, I would really like to have a completed trio. In Japanese, I don't particularly care about English for the most part. But I would love to have a Japanese rocket starter trio. We already have the Torchic. I got the Torchic like a year and a half ago. I'm really happy about that one. But I would love to have an unlimited Trico and an unlimited Mudkip as well. I'd really, really like that. So those two, sure, they're extremely rare in Japan right now. So those two, I would really like to have. Let me see. Let me see. So, dude, I kind of have a little bit of regret for this one because there was one on Macari that was available for so long, and like, I just didn't. I mean, dude, I don't know. It was kind of a blunder because I was kind of just very iffy on it. But I would really like to have a Mew 2005 Victory Orb. I really, really like that card. I like the original Victory Orb too, but the Mew one is just a little cool. It literally has Mew. The original Victory Orb doesn't have a Pokemon on it, but 2005 one has Mew, which is really nice. I would really, really like, on my previous trip in Japan, it's funny because this is their favorite card. This is their favorite card. On my previous trip in Japan, I was searching for this card a lot, and all the good one, well, I say all the good ones, but all the copies were either too expensive for their condition or just very bad condition. And that card is Mysterious Mountains Charizard. I would like to just finish straight up the crystal set in Japanese. The main issue for the most part is just the Mysterious Mountains Charizard, also known as Skyridge Charizard. We have it finished in English, which is nice. The problem is too is that since we're collecting dual sets or dual languages, like a lot of the resources basically sometimes go towards one language, and so a lot of the time, like we have like one language, a subset complete, and then the other one is like just not complete, and it's so frustrating. But it's just so tricky when you're just doing both languages. You have to account for condition variance and just a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, Mew Victory Orb, Rocket Gang Strikes Back, Mudkip and Trico, and Mysterious Mountains Charizard. Honestly, yeah, Mysterious Mountains Charizard for sure. That's another big one. I mean, Mew Victor Orb is a massive one, to be fair. I really kind of regret not getting the one for 1.1 million, but that's yen, by the way. But like, I don't know. I think in time, maybe I'll come across like a PSA 8 or a roll one, maybe something. I don't know, something perhaps. Very tricky. Trying to think. Smaller ones. I would really like to pick up Team Rocket Returns Snorlax EX. Milotic EX, that's one of the nicest EX cards from EX Emerald. Blaine's Charizard, I don't even know how I don't have a Blaine's Charizard yet. For some reason, like even though it's literally one of the coolest Charizard cards ever, I just never got to it. I don't know, I just never got to it. I just thought it'll be fun. That's, dude, it's just hard. It's hard when, like, it's hard when there are so many cards that you like. You just, it's so tricky. Like it's really, it's not easy, bruh. It's not easy when there are so many cards you like. So that's another card. And we're shooting for the moon here. We're shooting for the moon here, but I would really, at some point, either this year or next year, I would really like to pick up a Miracle Diamond or Wonder Platinum, either or. I just recently picked up a really nice Mysterious Pearl. I absolutely love the colors. Man, they are just so good. I can't imagine what it's like to have the trio. It must be like really, really cool. I mean, I know one guy, he has a trio. I've never seen it, but he's a really nice guy. He's like a vendor kind of guy. Funnily enough, I don't know his actual name. I only know his like handle, which is Poke360. And according to him, at least, he has the trio, which is really, really cool. So that must be just really, really nice. I would love to have either or, either one of those two. Yeah, so I mean, you know, once I eventually come back to this video, hopefully at least one of those. A lot of those are pretty big cards though, to be fair. So even just one would be nice. But yeah, in terms of collecting, it's just, you know, recently I've been really, really reflective. Because it's a really, it's not difficult, but you know, as I put more and more time and energy and effort into it, you know, I look back on how far I and how far, you know, we have come regarding that. And it really just makes me think. It really just makes me reflect, you know. Sometimes I just think, do I want to keep going? Like I could just stop here, it would still be like amazing. You know, so there's just a lot of feelings behind that. But yeah, I mean, I'm working on something, or I will be working on something pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about that. It kind of goes hand in hand with the collection too. So, you know, it really means a lot to me. It really does. I sort of, a couple days ago, I came to the conclusion that, like, yeah, like this is what I want to do. Like I want to commit my life to this. This is what, you know, I want to give this everything I've got. Because it's just that important to me. So I will be doing this for quite a long time. And if somehow in the unforeseen future I somehow change my mind, which is extremely unlikely, because like I'm locked in on this shit. Yeah, I will be doing this for a long time, and you know, that gives me fulfillment. It's what I want to do. And I hope that everyone finds what they want to do, because everyone deserves to do something that they want to do. Everyone deserves to do what they want, so long as it's not harming people, you know. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.